You're watching The Road Show on WPRI 12.
Welcome back to The Road Show. This morning in The Buzz, a Michigan teenager is making headlines and taking on Hollywood. She's trying to get the R rating lowered on a new documentary about bullying so kids her age can see it in theaters. The film Bully is part of a bigger initiative by a group called The Bully Project. The film addresses the bullying epidemic happening in American schools and is hoping to create a safer environment for students. The problem right now is that the R rating will keep kids from being able to see it. So high school student Katie Butler has started a petition to lower the rating and shared her own experience with bullying to help make her point. The Weinstein Company, which is distributing the documentary, tried unsuccessfully to get the rating changed last month. Bully hits theaters this Friday, March 30th. So what do you guys think? Do you think the rating should be lowered on this movie?
Absolutely. I mean, you think of the kids that are bullied, and it starts at such a young age.
Yep.
I mean, even watching this trailer, my heart breaks for some of these kids, and that's 2 minutes, let alone an entire film.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's needed to really get the point across with some kids, because you can lecture as much as you want and say, oh, you know, don't bully, that's mean, you should treat everyone equally, but until you actually see it and see these true stories happening of just the extremes that bullying goes to, I think it's not going to hit people unless they watch it.
Like you were saying just a couple of seconds ago, even just watching the trailer for this movie, it breaks my heart to see this, one of the kids in this movie just getting picked on by these, these kids who just, they just have no standards, no filter or anything else, and they don't realize what bullying can do to a kid's life. I mean, you're doing this now, but it affects these kids for the rest of their life.
Yeah. I mean, the issue is, of course, that it's rated R, and that means that if kids want to go see it, they have to be seeing it with an adult.
Right.
So it's going to be hard to screen in schools once it does come out on DVD, especially if you want to play it, say, for middle schoolers. So I don't even know how they're going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
I know that they were able to show Crash, which is rated R, to some high school students with parental support, but this is going to be really difficult, and the reason it's R is because the F word is in it 6 or 7
times. Yeah.
And the kids say that more often than not, and you look at something, say for example the Hunger Games, which is very violent, and the F word sadly now in our society isn't that big of a deal. So I'm sad that that's what's making it R.
Yeah.
And I've been around even elementary schools. I picking my younger sister up years ago and hearing the words come out of kids that age. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't even think I knew those words when I was 9, 10 years old. And now they're throwing them out like it's nothing. And it's just, it's more than just physical abuse nowadays. Bullying, there are so many, verbal things that almost stick with you more. The verbal abuse that happens to these kids. If I were a parent, I would definitely take my child.
Yeah. I mean, this movie can change, kids' direction in life. I mean, when they're bullied at school, it affects them it affects them in their schoolwork, their eating at home, the way they interact with other people. And like you were saying, I mean, it is the F words in the movie. But not only do I think that they should lower the rating, I think the movie should be played at school.
I agree.
With all of these kids.
I completely agree.
I mean, we all know the F word. We've all heard it. A lot of these kids in school have sadly heard it as well. But playing it in school, I think, would be, a good message, or at least a start.
And I know that the director of the film was asked by the MPAA. They said, you know what, you take those swear words out, and maybe we can work something out.
Right.
And he said, no, this is an important part of the film. These kids are bullying someone by using this word towards him. And, I'm not going to bleep it out. It's going to change the film entirely. And he's really standing behind it. And I think, I want to applaud the kids and the celebrities and everyone that's standing up and saying, this needs to be shown. This is an epidemic. Our kids are being bullied left and right. Kids are sadly, taking their own lives, and it needs to be shown.
Absolutely.
Very sad. It's very sad.
It is. It's tough, and like we said before, it's very tough to watch. If you haven't seen the trailer, make sure you check it out. And I'm going to be interested to know what other people are saying. How are they weighing in?
I actually put the trailer up on Facebook, so for those who haven't seen it yet, head on over to our Facebook page. Tracy Byron said that she would love for her child to see it, and if you went into the middle school lunchroom right now, you would hear those kids talk, and they actually say things worse than rated R.
She's right.
So it's no need to shelter them.
Very true, Tracy.
Kat Lang says the point of the movie is to stop bullying. So how is that going to happen if bullies never see it?
That's right.
Besides, teens are probably doing and saying much worse than whatever's in that movie anyway.